Over 2 defeats in a row, and that rise in form, which looked as if it was going to take them up the table, come to an abrupt halt. Home defeat here against Oldham, and then a very narrow defeat at Sheffield last week. Playing Wakefield Trinity today, themselves in similar position, though they will come in with a lot of confidence, having beaten Oldham last week in a thriller at Bellevue. Let's have a look at the two sides of their lineup, and certainly the news of the day for the Hull supporters, the debut of Tim Street, who was signed in midweek from Lee at a fee of probably around 70 to 80,000. And certainly Roy Simmons is looking for Tim Street to add an extra attacking dimension and a bit of meanness perhaps to the whole pack. Let's have a look at the whole side as it lines up. Richard Gaze at fullback, Paul Eastwood and Paul Sterling on the wings, with Rob Danby, James Grant in the centres. Jeff Doyle moves up from the centre to stand off to partner Des Hasler. Mark Jones, Mike Dixon and Tim Street the front row. Danny Devey, Steve McNamara back in the second row now, and Rob Nolan at loose forward. John Sharp injured himself in training last night is out. Chico Jackson, Russ Walker the subs. The Wakefield side, Gary Spencer at fullback, Gary Christie and Andy Wilson on the wings, with Andy Mason and Richard Goddard in the centres. Kieran Allen, a young 18-year-old, making his full debut at standoff with Lee Hanlon. Ian Marlowe, welcome back to the Boulevard for Ian Marlowe, with Nigel Bell at hooker, and David Woods, the Australian, who's captaining the side today at 10. Paul Round, Mike Forshaw and Richard Slater make up the back row. Billy Conway and Steve Durham, the substitutes. We have with us Dave from Wakefield doing a joint commentary this afternoon. Welcome to you, Dave. You must be fairly confident. A great record against Hull over the last couple of years. 4 victories in a row, I think.
Yes, that's right, but obviously 4 victories in a row don't mean anything today. It's the two teams both struggling, I feel, for the points, which are very invaluable to both sides this afternoon.
First penalty of the game, Wakefield caught offside. And Paul Eastwood is going to find touch with his penalty. Very little wind out there today. There has been some rain prior to the game, so conditions likely to be a little bit slippery on top. Tim Street hits the ball up. What will Roy Simmons be looking for from Tim Street, Brian?
I think another forward, a bit like Daniel Devey, out and break the line and then slip the ball, Steve. He's that type of player, and that's what we're looking for. I see Devey's been injured. The first tackle there, that seems to have got an arm or a shoulder injury. He's gone down. It'll certainly be bad for Hull if he has to go off. A penalty there against Woods, I think, for a high tackle. Physio on to look at Devey, still ain't got up. That's pretty bad to me. I think Paul Eastwood will go for goal. He'll be about 37, 38 yards out, but it's pretty straight, well within his reach. So Rob Wilson's 16th man today, been playing very well in the A-team recently. No, it's not I thought it was his shoulder. It seems to be a injury to his face. It's probably his cheek, we think. That's Paul Eastwood. You said about Wakefield beating the last 4 times. I've been seeing Andy Mason goes. He's somebody who always scores against Hull. Success in the long distance, that's just slipped past the post. So first chance gone begging for Hull.
Yes, certainly true. Andy Mason's won I can remember at least 2 games here that he's won over the last few years. One actually when he was with Leeds, when he scored an 80-yard blinder, and he had a tremendous game here last January when Wakefield won in a midweek match. How have Wakefield been going, Dave?
The form has been good. They've been creating a lot of chances, but unfortunately for Wakefield, the chances that they have created, they've not scored from. Oldham was the first time this season that they've scored above 3 tries, and they ended up winning the game 22-21. A really hard and close-fought tussle, that one.
Steve McNamara back in the second row today. Pretty good game at Sheffield last week, I thought, Steve. Looked to have won the game with that drop goal 1 minute from time, only from that dramatic Mark Gampson effort to finish the game. Mark Jones driving it up. Good tackling by Ian Marlowe. Street, little break by Street, nobody supporting him on his right. That's certainly what Hull need, he's able to do that. Doyle, Back up the middle to Hasler. Dixon. 10 metres inside the Wakefield half. That's the last tackle. Nigel Bell making that tackle. Hasler goes to the air. Turns Spencer. Well, not a great chase by the Hull backs there, and Spencer makes good yards towards the 20-metre line. Christie. Ian Marlowe. Another ex-Hull player is on the bench for Wakefield today, Steve Durham. This is Mike Forshaw, close season signing from Wigan. Lee Hanlon, of course, another ex-Hull player. That's 3 in the Wakefield side. He's playing at scrum half. Just moved into that position, I think, was it the last couple of weeks, Dave?
Yes, that's right. He came, obviously, from Batley to try and step into the shoes of Nigel Wright, and he's done exceptionally well at stand-off half, but an injury to Jeff Bagnall, and obviously news of Jeff Bagnall going back to Australia. He's signed with Canberra Raiders. He goes back on Tuesday evening. So Lee Hanlon's been asked to fill the scrum half role, albeit on a temporary basis. There is speculation that Henry Paul, this very exciting New Zealand under-19 player, he's been linked with the Wakefield club, but we'll just have to see how that one progresses.
He'd be a tremendous acquisition, wouldn't he? He looked outstanding in the Junior Kiwi test at Wembley.
Yes, so outstanding as his form been so far while the young New Zealanders have been over here, that he actually made it to the first-grade New Zealand squad. So that speaks for itself, really.
Danny Dive playing the ball, seems to recover from that injury. Hasler goes to the air again. Jeff Doyle in pursuit, on to Andy Wilson. Good take by Wilson. Met immediately by Doyle and driven back. Good play. Spencer is acting halfback, runs off from there. Gets past the Hull markers. Woods. Hanlon brings Forshaw into play. Ian Marlowe. Winner worked very, very hard. The ball lost there. What is the referee going to give? Don't think the touch is quite sure the knock-on results on the last tackle, so Hull will have possession just inside the Trinity half. Hasler. Well tackled. Slater and Bell. Mark Jones. Ian Marlowe very busy in the tackling and hitting the ball up at the moment. Steve McNamara.
It's just one of those things that when players come back to their old side, they like to get up there and mix it and, you know, prove to the side that they were wrong in letting the players go.
Wakefield will certainly have 3 players in that category today.
Yes, that's right, and so far it's an evenly matched game, but all the 3 lads on the Wakefield side that have played with Hull have already impressed me.
Again to the air. This is certainly very clear part of the whole game plan today. Grant kicks ahead. Not a particularly good kick, gets onto the wing. And I think a penalty is going to come up against Doyle for tackling the Wakefield winger Christie after the ball had gone.
Yeah, Christie, lovely little dummy there, came round the outside of his man and rather than risk being bundled into touch with the tackle, just kicked a little bit downfield and the chase would have been on, but the man pushed him into touch, and I think that it's a fair penalty.
So Wakefield with a set of 6 to start, 10 metres inside the Hull half. And it's going to be Nigel Bell to get us underway. Ian Marlowe, taken by McNamara and Jones. It's an extra little bit of keenness in the tackling when Ian Marlowe's got it, Brian.
Yep. Certainly, well, they've set into him quickly then. I think we know from past experience, Ian Marlowe's a pretty good forward. Forshaw takes it up. Hanlon drops off Paul round. Tackle by Dixon. Wakefield going right. Woods. Last tackle. Just what, 10 metres out. Then we're going to go right to Lee Hanlon. Hanlon kicks, it should be Gay's ball. A little bit too strong, goes over the dead ball line. So it's drop out for Hull on the 20-metre line. Danby. Well tackled by Bell and Woods. Jones. Good tackle by Marlowe. Street. Loses the ball as he takes it in. Good tackling there by Round and Slater. Slater's tremendous tackler for Wakefield. Not much on him this loose forward, but he's all over on defence. Mason looking for a gap. For shot. Met and driven back. Good tackling by Hull. Spencer. Not Spencer. Oh, good tackle on Woods by McNamara. Read that drop-off move. This time it is Spencer. Tackle by Hasley. Last tackle. Ball back to Lee Hanlon. High kick. Should be Gay's ball. It's a little bit too deep. Referee said the Hull man made it dead. Ball bounced back on its point. I think Gay thought it was going to go out of play, and it didn't. It stood up. Really beat everybody then, but the referee gave Hull the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, so it was almost an embarrassment for Richard Gay. Wakefield very close to a try, must have just been fingertips in it.
Yes, and one of the first rules in rugby league is don't ever let the ball bounce, because it's not a round ball. It's obviously oval shaped and the ball can bounce anywhere, and it did exactly that. Stood up in the air, went over Gay's head, and one of the Hull players there just flicked the ball into the dead ball area, so Hull escaped then.
Wakefield with their best pressure of the game at the moment. Argyle Bell, one of the great servants of Wakefield Trinity, been at the club an awful long time, played in a lot of positions, tremendously underrated player. Crossing given against Trinity as they move it out wide. Some of them looking a little bemused at that decision. You commented earlier that they look pretty well matched, these sides. There's really nothing to choose between them at the moment, is there?
That's right. Both defences well on top. Both sides have had just a little sniff in the opposition's 20, but nothing that anybody really could shout home about. Most of the play is in between the two 25s with defences on top, so we're looking for a little bit of individual brilliance to set the game alight.
Of course, a lot of tension out there. Both sides really desperate for a win. Danny Dive makes the breaks, got Hasler with him, can't quite get it away, and loses the ball in the tackle. Just a little knock on. But again, Frenchman really has been in superb form in the last month. Had a wonderful game at Sheffield last week, and he has this ability to either to get rid of the ball out of the tackle, or increasingly, Brian, actually to break the line.
Yeah, as you said, he had a tremendous game against Sheffield. But we had a few instances like that at Sheffield where he made the break, but nobody could really get on the end of it, Steve. Pull round. Goddard. Young centre. Long kick by Hanlon. Should find touch. I think Gale let it go, he does. About 15 less metres out from the whole line. Good kick by Hanlon. Slight following, not really much to talk about. Doyle. Moved to stand-off for this game. Played quite a lot last season at North Sydney at stand-off. Here comes Davey again. That time puts 3 Wakefield defenders into him. Jones up the blind side. Marlowe meets him as he's done most times he's driven it. Bell. Hasler. Hasler still running. McNamara kicks. Should be Christie's ball. Goes over his head. Manages to turn the wing up. Oh well. Beats Sterling. Doesn't beat Hasler. Hanlon. Spencer. Paul round. Woods. Marlowe takes a flat ball. Last tackle. Hanlon. Kicks again. Oh, bisects the angle nicely between Eastwood and Gay. It won't go dead, I don't think, this ball. It does just. Wrong. It's by a couple of feet. Good tackle by Slater on Jones. Street. McNamara. Picked up by Hasler. Referee ruled a knock on. Oh, loses the ball. Youngster lost the ball in the tackle. That's quite a slight figure, this standoff, Steve.
Yes, very highly rated by the Wakefield coaching staff. I think academy coach Terry Crook thinks he could go all the way to the top. But it's certainly a big step up for any youngster, isn't it, coming from academy or A-team level into the first division.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, it's the hot cauldron of the Stones Bitter Championship, and there's no hotter than this afternoon with the 2 points at stake. Very, very valuable to both sides, and the pressure's on. And for a young lad to step into the arena when the pressure's on, it's very difficult.
Look, Wakefield looking to get the ball out wide, but another handling error. Nice floated pass by Hanlon, but Andy Mason was well taken. And neither side able to control the ball well enough at the moment.
No, it's not just the young lads that are dropping the ball, it's the seasoned professionals, so to speak, that are also making big mistakes. So the game at the moment's been spoiled by a lot of fundamental errors.
Both sides needing to consolidate, play through solid sets of 6. Here goes Sterling. Oh, what a break! He's right through. He's going to score under the post. And a try out of nothing to Paul Sterling, and that brings the house down. He went through up through the ruck there as the Wakefield defence seemed to dematerialise, really. They've been very strong up to now. There seemed to be nothing on there. Bit of acceleration through the gap, and there was no catching him.
Well, it was just 5 minutes ago that I said that both sides, as defences, were really on top, and it would look for some individual brilliance to set the game on alight. And that's just what Sterling did there. From acting half-back, he saw a big gaping gap, and all fair credit to the winger there. He went scorching through, and nobody had a cat in hell's chance of catching him. And he just dived Australian style underneath the post to register the first try of the afternoon.
It was his pace off the mark, wasn't he, really, that caused the damage there?
Oh, yes. I mean, he picked the ball up superbly, spotted the gap, accelerated really quickly through it, and just Wakefield had no match for him there.
So, vitally needed try for Hull. A popular one, Paul Sterling, a close season signing from Bradford and Bingley Rugby Union Club. Really done very well in the short time he's been in the game. So Wakefield kicking off. Richard Gay takes it. He'll pick up McNamara. Tackle by Slater. Danny Devey fends off Hanlon. And Danny Devey penalised for throwing the ball back between his legs. I think he felt he was interfered with, but the result is a penalty to Wakefield.
He had every right to feel aggrieved there. I personally felt that Hanlon did interfere at the play of the ball, and Devey was unlucky to get on the wrong end of Brian Galtus's decision.
There was a hand floating in there, wasn't there? It was difficult for referees to pick up everything. But it gives Wakefield a chance to get back in the game. Centre Goddard is lining up this penalty. Some 27 metres away, thereabouts. Should be within his range. But it drifts to the right of the post and the chance goes bigging. So Hull retain the 6-point lead.
Steve, did you see what Richard Goddard used to place the ball on? It was a marker cone. It's the first time I've seen that. Was at Oldham last week against Wakefield Trinity, when Topping uses the cone, and he's obviously picked it up. In a small sense, I think it's a good idea. It can be replaced. It's plastic and it can't injure anybody, so there's no reason why he can't use it.
And it doesn't slow the game down as much as bringing sand on and off, does it?
That's right, and in really difficult windy conditions, the hole at the top of the cone allows the ball to sit in there perfectly, and it doesn't fall over, so therefore you don't really have the man laying on the floor obstructing the kicker, really.
No, we noticed Paul Topping used it here for Oldham a fortnight ago. Trinity just inside the Hull half from that dropout. Hanlon. Oh, Allen gets in the way. They got away with it. Paul Round picks up. And Allen kicks through onto Paul Sterling, traps it with his foot, picks up. I think he'll take them on. Oh, the ball goes loose, an error. Hanlon trying to get around Richard Gay. Gets the ball back inside, but it goes loose and goes into touch. As I think off a Hull...
Touch just said off the Wakefield.
Off the Wakefield man.
I thought it was off the Hull man.
I thought it looked to come off a Hull player. But perhaps, I suppose having taken the touchline option there, really, he had to... It was either be pushed out into touch or let the ball go back in the end.
Yes, or he could have tried to... He had hold of Richard Gay with one arm. He could have pushed Richard Gay infield and taken the tackle and kept the pressure inside the Hull 20. However, he opted for the difficult decision, in my view, and tried to slip the ball to Gary Christie, who was well policed.
And Wakefield had only just got possession back anyway.
That's right. It's a sin and a shame to lose the possession as Dixon makes a break.
Mike Dixon, which I've been wondering how long it was going to be before he had a dart from acting half-back. There he went, Des Hasler. Still going, Hasler. Does take a lot of heavy punishment up the middle, shirks nothing. Causes panic in the defence because he can accelerate so quickly. Devey steps, opens the gap up. He's got Richard Gay with him. Richard Gay just collared in the end by Hanlon. Hull on the boil inside the Wakefield 20-metre, but Tim Street unable to handle, and on the last tackle Wakefield have the turnover. But Hull finding some gaps around the ruck area.
Yes, certainly in a purple patch at the moment, the Hull side. Wakefield Trinity having to defend quite desperately, and Lee Hanlon's superb tackle on Richard Gay there, I'm sure, saved a certain try. But Tim Street, I've seen him play for Lee this year on numerous occasions, and he's opened up the defence every time he's got the ball. He's very, very strong, got upper body strength, and just by knocking the ball on there, he won't lose confidence by that, and I think that the Hull fans will see a lot of Tim Street, and they'll love him.
Yes, he's won a lot of Man of the Match awards over the last month or so in a side that's been struggling.
That's right, because he's got exceptional upper body strength. He's a bit low to the ground, very Steve Pitchford mould type of player. Takes a lot of pulling down, and he's got a good pair of hands, and he can get rid of the ball in the tackle, which will help a good supporting side like Hull are.
Jeff Doyle, Wakefield again guilty of losing the ball early on the tackle count. Rather wild pass out to the wing going into touch. There's Rob Nolan filling in at loose forward today for John Sharp, who was injured in training yesterday. Tangling with Slater there. Rara by, and away goes Christie up the wing, got on the outside. He's going all the way, kicks ahead, good kick. Paul Eastwood comes across, the ball goes loose. Richard Gay has to make it safe over his own line. Referee consulting with the toucher, it's going to be a dropout. Again, plenty of danger from Christie. Got on the outside nicely there and did the right thing, kicking ahead.
Yes, Divey lost the ball and Wakefield quickly sped the ball out to Gary Christie. In my view there, Gary Christie's just come back from injury and just lacked that killer yard. That yard of pace there that would have taken him into the corner and put Wakefield back into the game. Instead, Christie had to go to some 10 metres short of the line and just try and push the ball over the try line with his foot, and Richard Gay won the chase to the line. But superb opportunism there from the Wakefield side, attacking from that spillage from Hull.
Gary Spencer runs it back, taken by Jones, 30 metres out. Nigel Bell dummies and goes from acting halfback. Forshaw into the Hull 20-metre area. Woods run around play with Nigel Bell, but Steve McNamara reading that pretty well with Mark Jones. Wakefield still in good attacking position. Hanlon is looking to the right. Short ball to Goddard, well met by Doyle. Really good bone-crunching tackle, a shoulder into the chest of Richard Goddard. Hanlon goes to the air. And a great take by Paul Eastwood. Danby from acting halfback. Move back to the centre for this game. He and Jeff Doyle swapping positions. Good run out of defence by Nolan. McNamara offloads to Dixon. Dixon almost into the gap, taken by Hanlon and Bell. Plays it 40 metres out. Hasler going from acting halfback. Good tackle by Nigel Bell. The last tackle just inside the Trinity half. It's back to Paul Eastwood for the kick. Kicks onto Christie's wing. Winger takes it well. Gets around Rob Nolan. He gets away from McNamara, but collared by Jeff Doyle. Wilson. Jones out of the tracks too quickly there. And a very unnecessary penalty conceded, Brian.
Yeah, silly penalty there by Jones, who's clearly offside. So it's Bell, they're going to give it to Marlowe. Good strong run by Marlowe. It's about 6 or 7 yards. Round. Oh, nearly loses it. Just holds on. Hanlon. Oh, not of Woods. Slater.
He's going to find it hard to be an organising.
Wilson. Drops off Wilson. Oh, nice ball. Woods. Goddard. Hanlon gets rid of it to Forshaw to Christie. Slips Hasler. Doesn't slip. Good tackle there by Mark Jones. Good passage of play by Trinity. Hanlon again in the action all the time. Rounds stopped. Good quick tackle there by Devey cut off the danger. Going blind, Woods. Bell. To Allen, stop, last tackle. Bell to Hanlon. Hanlon will kick down this corner. Oh, he puts it high, it should be Gay's ball. Oh, lets it go backwards. Referee says it went forwards. Oh, real mistake there by Richard Gay. Wakefield's heading ball just 10 metres from the hull line. A mistake there, Steve, under no real pressure.
Yeah, I didn't quite judge that. It gives Wakefield great position here. 6 points behind. But nearly a scrum to the other side, but Forshaw picks up. Des Hasler has it. Wakefield lose it on the first tackle again. Mark Jones from acting halfback. Good driving run by Jones. Gets the 20-metre line. Sterling. Mike Dixon. Well, certainly Hull doing a lot of acting halfback running. I feel Wakefield a bit vulnerable there. Street. Looks to turn and offload. Take a while for the Hull players to read Tim Street's game, but there certainly ought to be players supporting him on his shoulder, Brian.
Yeah, certainly should. I'll be interested to know when Mr. Galtris gives the first penalty for interfering to play the ball, Steve. We've seen quite a few. It's a bit reminiscent of the game we had at Leeds, wasn't it? Robin Whitfield, who waited till the 70th minute. Nigel Bell receiving treatment. Woods, oh, bit of a hospital pass there. Hanlon. Round. Mason. Oh. Trinity's passing, goes awry. Hull's heading ball. Mike Dixon down. Yeah, stopped by Spencer and Mason. Danby. Nice run by Danby. McNamara. Good tackle by Nigel Bell again. Tremendous tackle of Bell, close to the ruck. Davey, side steps. Oof. Jones, straight up the middle. Last tackle. Hasler knocks on. Russ Walker coming on for Street. We've been playing, what, just half an hour? Woods. Get any change out of Doyle. Marlowe. Forshaw. We'll have to go running back for that ball. Good keen tackling by Hull. Oh, and that lovely ball there to Allen. He's going for the corner. Trying to beat Asler for pace. Doesn't. Asler wraps him up. But a good run by the standoff. Bags of confidence. Trinity on the attack. Spencer. Oh. And loses it. That was a let off for Hull. Picked up by Russ Walker. Davey running off a match in half-back. McNamara. Good tackle by Marlowe. Jones. Breaks for short tackle. Penalty against Jones for not playing the ball. Amazing decision. Amazing decision.
Here's sort of Mark Jones didn't get to his feet. Well, maybe he didn't, but there's been, from both sides, a lot of interference at the ruck. Dave, earlier on, stamping out the holding and pulling the ball and so on at the play of the ball by both sides.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, start as you mean to carry on, and I'm a firm believer that referees should let the game flow, and anybody that's trying to prevent that, then he should spend 10 minutes in the bin, because that's one of the worst professional fouls committed, and that's not letting the man get up and play the ball quickly. I'm a bit surprised to see Wakefield Trinity. I know it's very close to half-time, but I'm surprised with Richard Goddard failing on the first attempt at goal. They're going to give him another shot instead of going for the touch kick and putting pressure on Hull. This time he's just found the distance, he's just nipped it over. It's a commentator's nightmare, really. They say one thing and another thing happens, but superb kick there from Richard Goddard, and that's the first points of the afternoon for Wakefield Trinity.
6-2, and about 5 minutes or so to half-time.
Anywhere, and if you're all down, it's a penalty. It's very difficult for the players to decide what the referee is going to allow in a game and what he isn't. Woods loses the ball. Well, what mistakes we've had in this game. Davey must have been offside then. That was a very small 10, that one. Jones loses the ball.
Had that individual bit of brilliance by Paul Sterling to score the try. Been a mistake-packed first half. Spencer, tackled by Rob Danby. Allen at acting half-back. Here comes Forshaw, been working very hard, this ex-Wigan second row. Ian Marlowe doesn't get the advantage line there, and driven back by the Hull defence. 3 in very keenly. Lost yards on that play. Paul round. Good tackling by the Hull defenders. Again, Russ Walker in there with Nolan and Dive. Woods. Wakefield made very little forward progress in this set. This is the last tackle. It's back to Hanlon. Makes a bit of room to kick. And the ball comes to James Grant. Can he make it? Has he made it? He has. A touch judge towards the try. And Lee Hanlon really took a gamble too much there, moving across the field to try and make room for the kick. And in the end, he got at an angle where the Hull chasers blocked him. The ball was knocked down and James Grant picked up the pieces to score.
Superb play by the Frenchman there. Really tall lad, stretched out his arms, and the kick from Hanlon was charged down. But my argument all season from the Wakefield Trinity's point of view, especially where tactical kicking's concerned, the person that's kicking the ball has not been getting into an area of the field where he's going to be unchallenged. It was far too flat in my view, and that's the reason why he had to come back across the field. But all credit to the Hull side. They charged the kick down, and Grant won the chase to the line. And at Hull, they have really deep in-goal areas. So on a normal rugby field similar to Wakefield Trinity's, the ball would have gone dead. But at Hull, and it's the same for both sides, the ball just hung in there and Grant won the chase to the line.
I think the other factor in that try was that how little forward progress Wakefield had made in their 5 tackles as well. The whole defence were well set. They weren't going backwards. There wasn't a lot of room in any case.
That's right, and they were culprits of playing one-man rugby, I think, for the 5 tackles that, as you say, they made no progress from. And from the resulting play, the ball, as I say, at Hanlon was far too flat, and all credit to Hull for capitalising on it.
Paul Eastwood a near miss, pretty good effort from there, but Hull have a 10 points to 2 lead and have scored just on the stroke of half-time. In fact, that is the half-time hooter. It hasn't been a particularly distinguished half, but from a Hull point of view, Brian, 10 points to 2 is a very useful lead, and I think it's a deserved one.
Yeah, I think it is. Particularly, I think it's probably the least distinguished 40 minutes football we've had at the Boulevard this season, actually, Steve. But 10 points to 2, a comfortable but not outstanding lead for Hull. A lead I would have thought they should aim to hold on for the second half.
Woods is taken off. Yeah, take Woods off.
Must have heard us, just taking Woods off.
Yes.
Ready, yeah? Yeah. So about ready to start the second half. We noticed one change on the Wakefield side. Skipper Dave Woods has gone off and Steve Durham has come back on. So another player with a point to prove here. Paul Eastwood gets us underway. Hull lead 10-2. Taken by Andy Wilson. Met by McNamara and Walker.
Just to go back to the substitution, Dave Woods is on the field. It's Paul Round that's off the field.
Well, Hull immediately in possession after Wakefield coughed the ball up again. Mark Jones driving for the line. Jones right on the line. Thanks for that correction with the substitutions. Hasler, Nolan, Richard Gay taking a short ball. There certainly was some room out wide for Hull there, but perhaps too many bodies in the way. Nolan, reverse ball to Walker. Hasler probing, going across the field. Slips Doyle in the inside. Doyle, good strength by the Australian in the last tackle. McNamara kicks through. Oh, tremendous effort by, it's a try. Try to Richard Gay. And really, Wakefield, you said should have cleared that. I think they were looking for the ball to go in. There was 2 Wakefield men had turned and faced the ball, but Richard Gay got down low, and the touch judge awarding the try got fingertips to it, and a terrible start for Wakefield to the second half.
Yes, and obviously they put pressure on themselves by spilling the ball in their own 20-metre area again. It's been a nightmare for David Topless. The mistakes that have been made by his side this afternoon, he won't sleep for a fortnight, I know, David. But it was McNamara there on the 5th tackle that shrugged a couple of Wakefield players off just so that he could get the kick in, stabbed it over the try line, and we know that the deep in-goal areas here at the Boulevard, and Richard Gay won the chase to the line as Hanlon and Wilson tried to get to the ball before him, but unable to do so. Brian Galtish's view was obscured by the players rushing on, and the touch judge gave the try. So Eastwood, left-footed, then approaches the ball, strikes it, but a bit poor from Paul Eastwood, knowing his previous goal-kicking prowess. So Wakefield Trinity then put themselves under pressure and now find themselves 14 points to 2 down at the Boulevard. Steve.
Hull now with a very handy lead, and I think in view of that reversal in the Oldham game a fortnight ago, where Hull seemed to be cruising to victory, or 8-0 ahead after 30 minutes and really dominating the game, and the way Oldham came back to that, I'm sure the players will not relax. And we've seen over the last few seasons Wakefield perfectly capable of coming back at Hull. It's vital that Hull maintain the intensity. The ball goes loose again. Trinity with a chance to counter-attack. Billy Conway's on the field. For Ian Marlowe. Conway will add a bit of dimension, bit of pace at the round the ruck area. Very good runner from acting half-back Billy Conway. Here's Bell. Wakefield some 12-13 metres out. Oh, open the gap up for Woods. Nice drop off, last tackle. Hanlon. Spencer. Ball thrown back inside, it goes loose. It's kicked ahead. Rob Danby, can he take it? He does. Taken from behind by Wilson, couldn't quite get into his stride. Wakefield a bit loose on the last tackle there, Dive. How that cross used Jones as a foil. Half a shepherd perhaps.
I thought it was.
Russ Walker. Hull 30 metres out. Hasler goes. Well policed this time. Gets into the 20-metre zone. Now Doyle. Last tackle. Hull are 12 metres out. Rob Nolan goes to the air. It's onto Wilson's wing. Fumbles and takes it well at the second attempt. Plenty of pressure there from Paul Eastwood. This is Goddard. Durham is the decoy. Spencer hits it up. Similar play, Forshaw this time on the end of it. Taken by Hasler. And Dive. Woods. Last tackle, some good solid Hull defence here. Back to Hanlon for the kick. Not much distance there, but a bit of danger. Wilson given offside. Well, I'm sure that wasn't the intended kick anyway. I think he was looking for more distance downfield, at an angle on it. But Andy Wilson actually had no complaints there. Dangerous kick as it turned out, that.
Yes, it was. Lee Hanlon, I'm sure, looking for some depth in that kick and probably trying to push Hull back into the corner, but it just squirmed off the side of his boot, and the wet conditions then just skidded the ball across to Wilson's wing, and he doesn't need two chances to come onto the ball. But unfortunately, Mr. Golter said that it was offside. It would have been a fair chase to the line because Wilson's got plenty of pace.
Steve McNamara, good run, taking Hull into attacking position again. Dive. Good tackling by Slater across from the marker position. Walker. Will play it, some 22 out. Hasler switching play, back to Doyle. Doyle just gets into the 20-metre area again. Hasler coming right. Swerves back up towards the ruck. Last tackle, Hull 9 metres or so away. Are we going to see a short side play? Oh, it's back to McNamara for a drop goal. And the referee says come off a Wakefield Trinity hand. They will drop out from under the posts.
One between the posts, all right.
One between the posts, but hit a Wakefield player en route. So it's Hanlon to drop out. Gets good yards. Russ Walker picks up the ball from Richard Gay. Good solid run by Walker. Wakefield defence opening up in front of him to the 20-metre line. Jones. Dixon. Hasler. Doyle, run around. Hasler accelerates, look to get the ball away. Well taken by two Trinity defenders. It's Slater in there again with Woods. Doyle, inside ball to Gay. Richard Gay taken by 3 defenders. Hasler. Crossfield, Jones on the drop-off. Last tackle, 5 metres away. Dixon goes from acting half. Just taken by Nigel Bell. Plenty of hold pressure, but some good Wakefield defence.
Superb defence, and none more so than Nigel Bell. Out of those last 6 tackles, Nigel Bell made 4 of them. And there's nobody works harder than Nigel Bell in defence. But at the moment, Wakefield Trinity are under a lot of pressure that they've created themselves through the mistakes that they've made.
Conway. Wakefield trying to make the yards upfield. Nigel Bell running off from acting halfback and dummying to Pastor Woods. Steve Durham. Ball ripped out by Dive, penalty. Well, howls of protest from the Hull. Silly penalty to concede. Wakefield to restart the tackle count just inside the Hull half. Here's Durham again. Hull leading 14-2. Conway away from acting half. Good run by Conway, gets around Sterling, but goes into touch. Good tackle over there by Dive again, covering.
Yeah, the Frenchman is having an exceptional game. He's not just doing everything he can in attack, but wherever there's an attack made by Wakefield Trinity, he's there to defend the whole line. He's having an exceedingly good game.
So it's Hull's heading ball on the 20-metre line. Hasler manages to get it in finally. Gay. Tackled by Spencer and Allen.
Hasler.
Danby. Haven't seen so much of Danby in the centre. Eastwood. Tackled by Bell. Hasler. To Nolan. Should be Wilson's ball. Oh! Referee says own way. But very skinny 10 is the referee taking them back both sides.
That's about 7 or 6.
I could tell by the lines on the pitch there, it was no more than 7 metres. Took them back then. Conway gets rid of it. To Allen, but tackled by Grant. Mason. Woods. Last tackle on the halfway line, Trinity. Ball to Hanlon, long ball out to Goddard, chips. Eastwood picks it up. Tackled by Nigel Bell, inevitably by Nigel Bell. Diva. Oh, it's not about players sneaking up offside. I mean, they just stood offside because the referee's just not taking them back 10 yards. Same for both sides. He has this time. Walker, back up the ruck. No room there. Doyle. Grant. Beats. Oh, good ball out to Doyle. To Nolan. Good cover defence by Trinity. Hasler from acting halfback. Jones is tackled. So it's a turnover, last tackle. Hanlon, tackled by Jones. Woods, tackled by Doyle and Mike Dixon. Conway to Hanlon, to Forshaw. Forshaw trips, not getting anywhere else. Tackling's pretty solid at the moment. Conway again. Last tackle. Hanlon kicks straight to Richard Gay. Gay running. Gay beats Hanlon's tackle. Beats Wilson. Oh, good run by Richard Gay. Great run. Hasler. Hasler again. Jones. Oh, good run by Jones. Hasler again. Going blind. McNamara. Loses the ball. Seems at the moment, they're just getting on top without really making it pay, Steve.
Yeah, some very good approach work to get into that 20-metre area, but Hull unable to finish off, and they've had an absolute avalanche of possession and position. Second half.
No, I was just going to say, Steve, they've been starved of possession, and the possession that they've had, they've squandered. They've thrown the ball back to Hull, and as you say, they've had mammoth possession, and they've scored one try in the second half for all their efforts, but Wakefield Trinity have got to do something, and quickly, if they are going to try and get anything out of this game.
Well, a knock on here by Hanlon. At Wakefield's error rate goes from worse to worse. And again, that was on the second tackle. And Hull with this scrum midfield. 20 metres out. Tim Street is back on the field. Russ Walker goes up to prop. Mark Jones has gone off. From the scrum, Rob Nolan picks up. Hasler. Goalie ball to Grant. Grant finds a bit of space. 10 metres away. Can Hull make it count now? 5 tackles to go. Tim Street. Well tackled by 3 Wakefield men. To the right. Doyle. Richard Gay, well read by Goddard. Good tackle by the centre on Richard Gay. Hull 20 metres out. Russ Walker runs it up. Good run by Walker. To the left, Hasler takes them on. Right up to the line, gives it to Nolan. The last tackle, Hull 5 metres away. McNamara kicks through. Ball goes loose. Last tackle, says the referee. The ball hit the player. Richard Gay. Gay for the line. Doesn't quite make it. Good scrambling defence again by Wakefield.
Yes, and they're having to scramble the defence because that's all they're doing at the moment. They're throwing possession away, and all they're doing is making tackles because, well, they're just losing possession in their own 20-metre area. They've had no chance to run at the Hull side, so all they're doing is defending, although that was a good run out of defence there by Durham and just eases the pressure somewhat. Forshaw then gets the ball away in the tackle. Spencer brings play up towards the halfway line. Billy Conway in it, acting halfback. Uses Hanlon. Hanlon comes across to our commentary position. Tries to find an opening and it's not there. Kieran Allen, the young 18 lad, in it, acting halfback. Suspiciously like a forward pass to Durham, but not given. And we're on halfway and we're on the 5th tackle. Yeah. Richard Goddard then hurriedly has to get that ball kicked downfield. I think Steve Bryan and myself are a little bit disturbed at the way that Mr. Goltis is getting both defences back. He's not allowing play to flow at all. He's not taking them, in our view, the regulation 10 metres, and therefore it's stopping and spoiling the game of Rugby Football League. Goltis spending far too much time in and around the play the ball area, and therefore not marking the regulation 10 for the players to get back to. Well, Dive plays the ball to himself, and neither a Wakefield man marking correctly. It's getting a bit farcical around the play the ball area, Steve.
Well, this could have been sorted out if he'd given some penalties early in the game against both sides for interference to the play of the ball and holding the players down. The ruck area has been a mess today, but the players are only getting away with what they're being allowed to get away with. Tim Street. Hasler, Walker. Comes off Dixon's leg, says the referee. Great tackle by Slater. Tremendous hit. Ball goes loose. Consulting with the touch judge. I think he just lost the ball. Oh, penalty against for pushing. Well, it was a tremendous hit.
Steve, I've seen Brian Goltis referee on numerous occasions this season and last season. He can't make a decision by himself. He was only a matter of metres away from the play there, on the right side of play as well, so he had a perfect view of the situation, and he had to ask the touch judge for help in making that decision. Mr. Goltis really, as far as I'm concerned, has not had control of this game from the start.
The libel comments from Wakefield.
Well, it's right.
I don't think we've had Mr. Goltis at the whole match this year. I've seen some games in the past where I think he has refereed very well, but today has not been one of his better ones.
Give him a little credit.
Paul Eastwood. Oh, it's a good strike. Oh, it's a good kick. 16-2. Takes the ball back up to the 20-metre line. And the referee right in at the ruck again. He perhaps, perhaps giving the moving in there not only makes it easy for the players to move offside, but it almost indicates the players playing that he's expecting something to happen at the play of the ball as well. This is a good driving run by Street. It's a good hand for it. Eventually he's retiring to the 10-metre line. Des Hasler from acting half. Quite a few players having difficulty with keeping their feet today. Steve McNamara almost makes the break. Back to Rob Nolan for the kick. Taken by Spencer. Faced by James Grant and Des Hasler. Wakefield again taking it away from their 20-metre area. This is Wilson. The whole defence up very quickly. Durham. Woods, but really Wakefield struggling to get any pattern into their game, relying very much on forwards driving the ball close to the ruck. Great tackle by Dive. Last tackle, again, little yards made. This is a good kick by, great kick by Conway. Really could have gone anywhere. Well taken by Paul Sterling. Mike Dixon trying to get in behind the markers. Sterling runs from acting halfback at Durham. Steve McNamara working his way up the middle. Hasler, Nolan, ball out to Grant. Grant half through the gap, back to Sterling. Big run from Sterling within 5 metres. Last tackle. Hasler kicks through, but it's taken by Hanlon. Well, Wakefield have done very well to concede as little as they have in the second half, because the possession statistics must be 80-20 in Hull's favour, you would think.
I agree with you, Steve. As I say, Wakefield Trinity have squandered a lot of possession. They've given Hull numerous chances to increase the lead, but sterling work in defence by the Trinity 13 to stop Hull from scoring, because pressure should be turned into points by professional sides in the opposition's 20, and Wakefield have done exceptionally well, you know, to hold them out.
It's back to the fifth tackle again, and they're only just outside the 20-metre line, and a knock-on from Woods at acting halfback, and a turnover. And he's made Lee Hanlon go and get the ball. He kicked it away. It's going to be a turnover in the end to Hull. Steve McNamara coming off, and on comes Chico Jackson, and Wakefield making a change. Paul Round returning, Dave Woods going off.
Yes, I think Woods has made a lot of mistakes, and I think Dave Topless had no alternative than to bring the captain off. It's obviously a player's nightmare. They try to make up for the mistakes that they've made earlier, and they just continue to make more and more mistakes. I think the best place for them is on the bench, and just, you know, get it right in training on the Tuesday night for the following weekend's game.
Well, Hull have certainly tightened up their error count in the second half. Nothing like as many. Dive, a great break. Tries to get it inside, it goes loose. Should be Trinity's ball. It is. And Hull not quite able to turn this mountain of possession and position into points. Tackle by Street on Spencer. And now Forshaw. But Wakefield not creating very much. In the first half, we had quite a lot of decoy running around the rucks, but that's disappeared, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've resorted to one-man rugby. I know it's difficult to play rugby in your own 20-metre area. You sometimes get criticised for it if you make mistakes. But Wakefield Trinity have nothing to lose now. 16 points to 2 down. They've got to give the ball some air, as far as I'm concerned, and just try and snatch something very quickly to bring them within sight of a victory.
Last tackle again, and the same pattern really, just 5 metres outside the 20-metre area. Goddard gets the kick in this time, taken by Sterling. He's tackled by Richard Slater. Richard Gay from acting halfback. Dixon goes, almost gets through, good tackle in the end, brings him down again, that man Slater. Hasler from acting half. Hull perhaps overusing the acting half-back running. Penalty against Hasler for the use of the elbow. And a much-needed relief for Wakefield. Hull guilty of playing too close to the ruck, Brian?
Yeah, I think they are, but, you know, we're saying about Wakefield, the problem about making yards is if the referee's only taking sides 5 yards back and the tackling's keen, there's nowhere for anybody to go but acting half-back. I mean, not only, you know, it's one of these, the referee's on an awful game for me. He's not, the conditions, because the ball's quite wet, are quite difficult. There's a good argument for taking them back more than 10 yards of one any football on a day like this, and really, when you're taking them back 6 and 7 yards, they've no chance.
Yeah, Brian, I think you're perfectly right, and like I say, pure evidence there that the last play of the ball, Goltus again in at acting halfback, and Steve, you were saying earlier that both sides were moving up very, very quickly. Well, my Grammar can move up quickly over 3 yards. You know, I mean, look, we've got an incident here just before the touch judge ran on, the whole players were on the halfway line, and play is well over the 10-metre line, as we see. So that's a clear indication by the markings on the field that Brian Goltis has not been taking the sides back, the regulation 10.
Yeah, I think there's the other point, isn't there? When the referee is standing up over the rucks all the time, he's giving an indication to the players that he's expecting some niggle and incidents to be going on there, and he shouldn't really be there. Hasn't been that sort of game, really.
No, but the point is he is policing the rucks, but he's still letting things go on there. That's what really gets me. He's not taking them back 10, and he's not in control around the ruck area either.
And And once again, Wakefield forced to defend in their 20-metre area, which they've done very bravely.
Even going back to lands with it, but nobody's worried.
Short side play. Tim Street. Little bit of space opened up in front of him. Hasler. Walker. Run very strongly today, Russ Walker. Again, the Trinity tackling is keen.
This was there, acting half-back again, like.
The referee retreating very slowly from the ruck. Hasler. Inside to Nolan. And the ball goes loose. And Wakefield have it with Mason. Forshaw, Goddard gets away from Eastwood, doesn't make too many yards forward though. Wakefield still inside the 20-metre area. The last tackle. Hanlon kicks through, taken by Gay just inside his own half. Hull will have the possession and position inside the Trinity half again. Richard Gay takes on the defence. Good run, almost up to the 20-metre line. Danby to Hasler. Hasler takes on the defence again, running very directly today. Dixon from acting half. Now will Hull move the ball across the field? Well, Round came up very quickly. I don't believe he could possibly have been onside. Walker. Russ Walker thinking about looking for the pass, but deciding to stick hold. To the left, Hasler. Inside ball to Street. Back inside to Doyle. Hasler. Ball goes loose. And the referee awards a scrum with a Wakefield head and ball. It's all got pretty untidy and scrappy out there, and unsatisfying in a sense, Brian, for both sides, because Hull have had enormous domination of the game in the second half, and yet have only scored the one try. I can't remember a game in which they've so dominated territory. We've really seen nothing inside the Hull half at all, and yet only the one try to show.
Yeah, it is disappointing. But it is a scrappy game, and I hope the players don't get so frustrated we get a flare up and somebody gets sent off, to be honest. That's my only worry about today's game. Oh, Mason picks it up. He's got Sterling after him. Sterling injured himself. Oh, and Christie sees the gap. Yeah, Trinity, good attack. Forshaw, Hanlon. Oh, good ball out to Allen. To Round, to Wilson. Oh, ball off Chico Jackson into touch. I think that was the last tackle, so it'll be Trinity's head and ball. Sterling still receiving treatment on the other side. Allen. Tackled by James Grant. Spencer. Spencer, good run by Spencer. He's going to score. He doesn't. Oh, forward pass. All on a try there for Conway, but the pass was forward. Conway knocked it on, so Matt Jones is going to come on. I think Chico Jackson will probably go onto the wing. And Jones back into the front row. So it's Hull's head and ball. So there's quite a lot of time left, but people are starting to go home already. Eastwood. Good run by Paul Eastwood. Rob Nolan. Richard Gay from acting half-back. Oh, beats the tackle, still going Gay. To Hasler. To Deaver. No, to Doyle. Doyle's opening out. Doyle going for the line. He's got the full-back to beat. But Wilson and Spencer get to him. Hull inside the Wakefield 20. Danby. Oh, Grant. Hasler. Deaver. Deaver straightens up, goes. But stopped. Nigel Bell in yet again. Hasler. Gets rid of it. Just Tim Street. Street still going. Gets rid of the ball. Oh, it's a Wakefield man. It's a penalty. Must have shouted tell the referee. That's all I can think. Dave, very disappointing game, Dave.
Yes, Brian. Disappointing, obviously, from a Wakefield Trinity's point of view. It can't be that disappointing from a Hull point of view with a score of 16 points to 2 in your favour. But from Wakefield Trinity's point of view, and as I've said it before, far too much possession lost, given far too much possession to this Hull side. And good sides always make you pay if you make mistakes, and that's what Hull have done today. They've had a couple of chances, a couple of kicks through, and they've paid off for Hull this afternoon. My man of the match has got to go to Brian Galtus this afternoon. I think he's had an exceptional game. He's let the game flow, and I don't think I could speak any more sarcastically than what I have done. But I'm sure that Steve and Brian, I'm sure you feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, Trinity on the attack now. This is a good run by Allen. Good play by Allen. A good ball inside to Mason. That's a good try. Very good try. Certainly Wakefield's best bit of attack of the game, and the young man Kieran Allen showed good awareness there, a lot of pace, but he could so easily have lost sight of his options there. He picked the man up on the outside, in the inside beautifully, and Mason, no better player than Mason to be on the end of that, and scores his customary try at the Boulevard.
My terminology of Andrew Mason is the poacher supreme. He always pops up at the right position at the right time. And as you say, he always goes into double figures at Wakefield Trinity with his tries at the end of the season. But Kieran Allen there showed experience beyond his years as he raced clear, looked for his support like a good half-back should. And who was it? Andy Mason on his right-hand side to go underneath the posts. Richard Goddard is successful with the conversion. 16 points to 8 is the score. Approximately 5 minutes of the game remaining. It has at least given Wakefield Trinity a sniff, and I mean a sniff. They are 8 points adrift still, which is beyond the try and a goal. So Wakefield Trinity are going to have to work very, very hard if they're going to get anything out of this game this afternoon. I feel that David Topless, when he goes to training on Tuesday night, will be buying all the players some non-stick gloves. Or should I say stickable gloves. So Eastwood will restart the game then. Puts the ball deep towards Andy Wilson, who takes it crouched down and brings play to the 20-metre line.
Des Hasler has been awarded the Hull Sponsors Man of the Match. He worked very, very hard and a lot more direct running today. Caused quite a few problems for the Trinity defence without ever quite slicing it open in the way he did against Widnes. Forshaw offloads to Hanlon. Spencer, ball goes loose, Referee gives a knock on. Wakefield having to do that. I mean, it's, they've got to try things like that. They've got to move the ball out. It does give Hull a great attacking position here. Scrum to go down 10 metres from the Trinity line. Osler to feed. Grant coming to stand off from this play. James Grant takes on the defence. Good tackle by Goddard. Danby. Gay. Richard Gay throwing the dummy, drifting across field, centre field. Here's Chico Jackson. Gets within a few metres. Wakefield continuing to defend stoutly in this area. They've certainly had plenty of practice at it today. Danny Dive loses it. And the scrum will go down. Well, the game drifting to an end now. Wakefield back within 8 points, but they've got a long way upfield to go. Are they making another change there? Nigel Bell coming off, and Ian Marlowe back on. Hull win the ball against the head. That's a rare thing. James Grant within 5 metres. Can the Hull at last finish this off? Nolan. Hasler. Back inside to Street. There is the final hooter. Well, we reckon there were a couple of minutes to go. We've got our timing wrong up here, but Hull have won a fairly undistinguished First Division match by 16 points to 8. 2 vital points for Hull, Brian. Takes them up to 8 points. They've had a bad home defeat a fortnight ago against Oldham, and a very close defeat at Sheffield last week. They certainly needed the win today, and they certainly deserved it, but there'll be some points of concern, I think, about the attack in the second half. Perhaps they should have scored more points. Yeah, perhaps they should. But as you said, 2 vital points for Hull. That relieves the pressure somewhat on the club. I think probably Tim Street had quite a quiet game today. Didn't really know where to run, getting used to his new teammates, but I'm sure he'll be very effective in the next game or so. Dave, from Wakefield's point of view, a little bit disappointing. Never really in the game.
No, in the first half they were in the game. I think they contributed quite well in the first half to an exciting first 40 minutes. But in the second half, threw far too much possession away, give Hull mammoth possession, and rather disappointing for the Hull players, really, only to score 1 try. Wakefield Trinity tried to make a small comeback towards the end of the second half, but it was far too late. But at the end of the day, David Topples will have nightmares when he watches this video with the amount of mistakes that his side's made. Thanks very much, Steve and Brian, for allowing me to do the commentary this afternoon. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. We've enjoyed having you here with us, and we'll see you at Bellevue later in the season. So from all of us up here in the commentary box, it's goodbye.